I listened to those harmonies. I would teach them to my brothers, and we'd all sing. Listen to me, I'm going on and on. What about you, Melinda? Why don't you have a boyfriend?
He broke my heart.
You shouldn't have done that.
It felt really good to remember how killer Pet Sounds is.
Isn't it crazy?
Because
What about Smile Sessions?
Amazing.
Like,
and
come on.
The thing about Pet Sounds is it hit me in like that point in my life where I was like a sponge.
That's right. We were just talking about that. Like, I remember in high school and in 1984 or something, and the Beach Boys were already, they were playing without Brian, and they were doing kind of reunions and 4th of July things, and they were sort of this kind of dinosaur band playing. But then you'd go to someone's houses and all the music snobs would like pull out Pet Sounds and put it on, and then you'd be like, oh. Oh.
I was given the album and I was told, you listen to this until you understand one day how genius it is. And it took me years, but I got it. And then when I sat down in this movie, I was like, oh, it's so good.
I think this is like the music. If you love music, or some people say music is inspiration, but to quote a friend, I've always said that's a lame ass version. It's fuel. Like you just
fuel
gets you. Gets your engine going.
Sure.
It's food. For us.
For you, for your soul.
For music lovers, I think will love this.
It literally vibrates in our bodies, right? Like it literally changes our chemistry.
Well, and I thought what was interesting is that the density of the sound in the album was really reflected in the film.
Yes.
And I want to encourage everybody to see it in a theater with a proper sound system. And I'm this is a shot in the dark, but I was wondering, like, if being a part of this project has made you guys hear things differently.
For me, it was more, we do talk about a lot about how this didn't exist. There was a moment in time when this didn't exist, and
right?
None of this existed.
Yeah.
And then like creation happened, and suddenly any sound could be art.
Right.
Which was amazing. It was like, well, if you just put it together, if you put a dog barking and some keys jangling together,
you can hear ELO, the talking heads.
Music.
Yes.
Everything in Smile Sessions.
Yeah. Now everything's done on a computer, and you think, well, someone had to figure out that like those sounds were actually musical before everyone just loaded stuff into a computer and just went hit buttons. I mean, it's amazing that he had to produce music out of just those, of things that he just heard.
Well,
a symphony in his brain.
A really interesting point, too, is that there was a moment before this existed.
That's right.
And that moment is really interesting as well. And to see it created. And
then the only thing I think about to add is that what I take away from hearing things differently is that we put limits on ourselves and our imaginations by saying, okay, well, I'm this. Now, all right, Elizabeth, now you are not only a great movie star, you're a director, but you're also this and you're that. But you might be like from Pluto.
Yeah,
you might be a Plutonaut. You don't like it. You can choose. You can choose to go anywhere you want.
Right.
Yeah.
And we can too. And that's what a guy like this does. He opens up. He just obliterates the box. He's like, box? Don't even like. There is no box.
Exactly.
I'm just traveling through space and time, creating stuff.
And that sort of free-formed creativity. That's what that's the spark. We all have that spark. He has it. He's got a blowtorch.